So I'd like to thank Annie for inviting me to show you how to make this beautiful cover through GraphiStudio's Enobellment. The Young book is one of our top-selling books. We love it because of its versatility, but we also love that we can include the .mov in the box. Our customers that hire videographers really love it. And one thing that sets our studio apart from the others in our area is that every one of our customers is getting a couture experience, meaning that we do not offer the same design for multiple customers. So when we're meeting with our customers, we want to make sure that we're looking for something that is out of the box, something that sets their wedding apart from other weddings. And so these are some shots of our finished book. This one is made up of multiple types of enoblement. And so going back to our book, you can see how the gray dots here, these are raised foil. And then the swirling part here, this is a raised color overprint. And I love how you can see how it's the foil in this photo, how it just dimensionally, it's different. So let's show you how I did that. Okay, so the first thing that we did was come up with an inspiration for the design of their cover. And in talking with Sandra, she really loved her cake. And so that's where we decided to go with her cover. So the first thing that I did is I opened up a picture of her cake so I could see the detailing of it closer up. And I pulled this portion here where we were going to copy the design and the beading for their cover. So I opened up a new document and I just used that one little portion of the cake. I wanted to make sure that the cake, the design was uniform on both sides, because the picture that I have to go by, the angle wasn't straight on that one layer of the cake. So I have the design, and the first thing I did was I used my Wacom pad to trace out the swirly part of the icing. So this is what we came up with for that. And once I had that, I then decided that I was going to replicate those sequins on her cake as well. So I made a new layer with those sequins. And then if you remove the cake, you can now see what that started to look like. We also wanted to add their names for some personalization. And so now you can see that I have 3 different layers that I need to give to GraphiStudio. 2 of the layers we're going to combine so that we can name it the appropriate file, because these are going to be 2 different types of enoblement. So her names and the beading, which are in silver, are going to be in the raised silver foil, and then this design from the icing is going to be in a color overprint. So we've got 2 different types of enoblement we need to provide to GraphiStudio. So my first 2 files here, I'm going to save these as a transparent PNG file, and I'm going to name it Raised Silver Foil. That way there's no confusion with GraphiStudio what process is going to take place. The next thing I did is I did the opposite. So now we can only see where that icing is, and I'm going to save this as a new document. It's going to be, again, a transparent PNG file, and this one I'm going to call Raised Color Overprint. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to send your files to GraphiStudio. I'm in my trade area, and I'm going to click on the big green button here that says Order Form. This is going to take me to a new screen where you can see all the different products that you could order from GraphiStudio. And with this particular book, we're doing the Young book, so I'm going to click on that. It's now going to bring me into an interactive order form where I'll actually be able to see my book being built on the right hand side. And so in this case, I'm just going to jump to the part where it talks about the cover, because that's what I'm showing you how to do today. So this particular book had the hardback cover. I love this new cover. I love that the material wraps around into the inside of the book. My personal opinion is this new young book has a much more polished look than the classic version of the young book. We also sell a lot of the crystal glance ones, but this particular book was a hardback cover. The material that we used for the cover is the cloud leatherette in white. And we then are going to scroll down to the bottom. So here it's going to talk about customization. And with this particular book, we are going to select that we are going to provide the file. And the reason for that is because we have multiple ennoblement processes going on. And unfortunately, with the software right now, we can only select one type of ennoblement. So we're going to click on Provide File. I'm going to show you how to do if it was just one type of ennoblement at a later date in another video. So stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to click on File Provided, and we're going to give the file name. And so here, I'm going to make a note that there are two files, one for raised foil and one for color overprint, so that they know that although I'm going to click on the raised foil right now, not everything is getting that raised foil. Later on, there is the opportunity at 2 different points to leave a note for the production team. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you that in this video because I'm not going to order this book again. In order for me to show you that, I'd actually have to physically go in and place the order. And in one of those places is right before you put in your credit card information. The second is right before you upload your files, and both are clearly marked notes. So just make sure that you clearly let them know that you are providing them with 2 different files or 3 different files, depending on how many types of ennoblement you're going to be using for your cover. Okay, so these are the things that I provided to GraphiStudio. You can see I've got the one file that had the raised foil, and then the other one has the raised color overprinting. I also provided GraphiStudio with this screenshot showing how the pieces align together. And then lastly, I provided them with this from the 3D configurator in our trade area to show them how I wanted the book to, how the cover to look. Now in the 3D configurator, it doesn't take in consideration that you cannot put ennoblement on the spine area. So you can see when we get to our finished book, this part here where the spine is does not have the design. So I again would like to thank Annie for the opportunity to share this information with you. Feel free to post any questions you might have on how I do this process. Again, we provide a service like this to every one of our customers because we feel it's important that every one of our books look differently and that they each have their own custom experience. I'll also post a link to the group that I have where I post all of the finished books that we get back from GraphiStudio as well as wall art from them, so you can use it as a way of inspiration. And again, feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to help.